Hello everyone, my name is Virginia and thank you for joining me. Today I am finishing the last 4 spreads of my sketchbook, and later in the video I will be setting up my first ever proper workspace. Yay! Hooray for not painting on my bed anymore, guys. I hope you enjoy the video and thanks for watching. This is a Talon's art creation sketchbook. I started it in March of 2023, but of course I did not touch it. I didn't work in it at all until the new year, but now starting in August, I have completed, not much, just half of my sketchbook, 80 pages from August 1st to today, September 6th. There's this fire under me now. I'm just loving drawing, I paint these little gouache flowers. I'll probably do another painting of these little California poppies. I did this late at night and didn't have a ton of inspiration to do a lot of detail, so I wanted to finish it with pencils today. If you go to the gym, you'll know that the TVs in there are always playing the news, and I don't know about you, but I don't want to get distracted about that when I'm working out, so I always try to sit in front of the TVs that are playing nothing but panning naturescapes to get away from it. That's where these poppies are inspired from. I'll put up the picture I took in the gym if I can find it, but inspiration really can come from anywhere. For my first of the 4 spreads, I sketched a bouquet of flowers that was on the table in front of me. I didn't really have any grand ideas, and so it was a perfect thing. I really like to sketch with this big lead. It forces me to be loose and a little bit messy, and I ended up liking the sketch okay, but I decided to go over it in gouache as well. Might as well take the time if it's my last 4 spreads. And here you can see there's the bouquet. This is my treasured paint cup. I love Rarity for my little pony. She's just my favorite. The paints that I'm using are Nicker brand gouache paints. Supposedly, it's the brand that Studio Ghibli uses to paint their backgrounds, but it's the only brand I've ever used. I should start to use them wet, but I've mostly just used them dry and then I add some water, kind of like watercolors. But fun fact is that I am a staunch watercolor hater, but for some reason I like gouache a lot better. I think it's the opacity. Like, I really hate working up the layers. It's so slow. Now, if you took a really close look at the bouquet that I showed you, you'll notice pretty quickly that I'm not doing this exact proportions. Like, I just can't be bothered. I really wanted to have fun today, and plenty of times I try to do really representational artwork, but this isn't a still life. I didn't set it up. I'm just here to have fun. I think I'll leave you with a little bit of sped up footage. I'll check back in with you when we get to the next spread. Here is the finished spread. I probably could have put more detail into the vase, but whatever. It's like nice, I like it. Moving on, I drew my sweet cat Suki. I sketched her in purple and then I went over her markings again with a pink and a blue. She's a beautiful cat and I think I did a pretty good job of making her look cute. I'll make sure to put some pictures up on screen so you can see how lovely she is. This next one I didn't record too much, but here are the little gouache eye shines. This angle was kind of hard to work with, but she's cute. And here I am saying, I hate that one. I hate it. It did not turn out well. I covered it with a collage and perfect. Since we're doing collages, let's go through my little magazine clipping stash and decide what to do. If you're ever stuck on what to draw next, I love that bug. It's so cute. I love to go through old magazines around, like I'm sure your grandma got you a subscription to National Geographic like us or the Smithsonian, or you can get plenty of good deals on Vogue. Vogue really has wonderful graphic, like big swaths of color that you can use. This is when I decided I wanted to do bugs, and I didn't record myself drawing this spread, but I show you it at the end. At this point in the day, my package came. I ordered it from Spokane Art Supply. I used to live there, and now I need to get it shipped. It's cheaper than anything else. Here you'll see me finishing up some Vespas, and oh, here's those bugs. Here's Suki, and here is the spread. Now we get to open up the sketchbook and start it. I won't show you myself drawing in it just yet, but I'll show you at the end of the video what I've done in it so far. There is no better feeling than writing the date in a new sketchbook. I am super excited to start it, and I'll finish this one way faster. It'll be great. Now, one thing that became really apparent while I was finishing those sketchbook spreads is that I don't have much of a workspace. In the clips that you saw, I was working upstairs on the dining table, and down here, all I have is this desk, which was originally bought for me, but since my husband has put a computer on top of it and a keyboard and a desk mat, and I can't really use it to paint on anymore. There was a fiasco where I was walking towards this desk with a cup of water in my hand to paint with gouache, and I spilled it on the monitor, and there were these striations, these vertical lines in the monitor screen for a few weeks, and then it all dried out. Thank goodness. So we found this desk on Facebook Marketplace for $10. Dad and I are going to glue together some oak flooring that he has and finish it with a clear coat, make it look beautiful. It's going to be all I've ever dreamed of, all I've ever wanted. I have a few clips and I'll show you kind of the process of getting it set up and moving our studio space around to get me a better workspace. Now here is the desk. It seems like it was used by a little girl. This looks just like the top of the desk that I had when I was a little girl. And it's got two drawers, pretty spacious underneath. And there should be, I tested it with Casado. He says there is enough space between his desk and mine that he can move back as far as he likes. I'm so excited to put the wood top on it. I'm glad that Dad came up with that idea. And we'll see how it goes. These are the boards that we picked out. We're going to need 5 to cover the desktop in total. And my dad and I cut them to size, we ran them through the planer, and then we had to glue 2 together and then 3 together so that they would all fit through the planer. I thought this glue was so satisfying. And this was also super satisfying. I think these are the only clips I got of us making that desk. Alright, I have the desktop right here. I wanted to get my reaction putting it on for the first time. We're going to be thinking about how to fasten it to the top later. for now I just wanted to get used to it and use it a little bit. I was too excited. So let's put it on. It's not too heavy. Here. There should be a little bit of space on either side. It's beautiful. Well, I'll let you get a closer look. Here it is. Wow. It's all I've ever wanted. It's lovely. Let's put some things on it. Here's my beautiful desk. I'm so happy with it. I've been putting my to-do lists up on the wall just so that I can look at them, and it looks like we need to clean a little bit. But I discovered when I put it in here that it has this cubby that I had totally overlooked, and it's a perfect place to just put my laptop. And in this first desk, the main and first thing that I do every morning is my morning pages. Morning pages are a wonderful thing for the mind of Julia Cameron. It's a creativity exercise. You're supposed to get all of your thoughts and worries out into 3 pages in the early morning, and that allows you to have more space to think creatively. Now, nobody's really supposed to read this as it is stream of consciousness. For example, I write about how buff I'm going to be during next swimsuit season. Right now I just have a regular old bikini body and that just won't do. I'm using a little moleskin journal and I try not to have it be anything fancy. Next time I probably will use a smaller journal because it just takes so much time in the morning. And then in this bottom drawer, we have all of the larger art supplies that up until this point I haven't really been able to use purely because of their lack of accessibility. I got my Prismacolors out of their big tin and my Ohuhu markers down here, and of course I get to have my most recent sketchbook for reference. I can look at this and decide if I want to redraw any spreads, my Poscas and my watercolors, and my nail polish. Of course, everything is super accessible now, and I have an opportunity to use so many different art supplies. It's just wonderful. I couldn't be happier with my desk. I'm so glad that my dad had the idea to cover the top. The oak is all I could have dreamed of. I'm so grateful that he was able to help me use tools, and now I feel like Kazato and I truly have a workspace that we can use together. I finally have my desk. I've never had a space like this before. Our next step is going to be putting up our little fun things to do together whiteboard right here. And I think that will truly unify our space and bring us closer together. All right. I'm sorry for not taking you along with me when I started this sketchbook, but I was just in a flow. I didn't need the camera to worry about. I'll show you what I've drawn so far. The first thing I drew were these dragonflies. This one's in gouache, and then they inspired me to draw these bug ladies. I'm just loving these. It's void.bug on Instagram. She draws a lot of really cute, fluffy, scaly little bug fairies, and it's just inspired me a lot. Next on that day I drew my Suki baby. These 3 are from life. She was in the room with me. And then the rest, she wasn't posing very well, and so I drew these all from photos. Then the next day was the day that we were working on this desk, and it was a very busy driveway. My husband was working over here. We were waiting for glue to dry, and so I came by and I drew him. Well, I didn't draw him, I drew the car and my crock. But next, while my dad was taking a break, he was working on my brother's car, and this is the engine. And then the next day, I was in church sitting on the pew, and you can tell that the hands with the rings are me, and all the other hands were done later from a Pinterest board. And then I drew this pony and this lady, and I said, oh, we need 2 more ladies and we're gonna make it a promenade. And I did this last night and I just love how it turned out. I'm inspired to draw a little bit more messily now that I've had a spread that's a little bit more messy. My real goal is to get good sketching with pen and to use this freely. We'll see if I can do it. Thanks so much for watching. Kazato and I just finished editing the bulk of this video, and I wanted to do a little outro letting you know that The next video is going to be the tour of the sketchbook that we just finished. Now that I have a workspace, I know that I'll be providing so much more content and being able to kind of try out doing art vlogs and making art for you. Hopefully that'll allow me to keep on this streak that I have and finish my sketchbook way faster than I did this one. You can find me at Quasibat on Instagram, and just stay tuned. Thanks for watching. Bye.